Hi, this is Attorney Brittany James. I'm doing this Facebook Live today so that I can answer some questions that I've been getting recently regarding immigration. I'm planning to do these Facebook Lives at least each week, so feel free to send me any questions that you may have, and I will try to answer as many questions as I can. I have been receiving some questions in English and some in Spanish, so I'm going to try to go back and forth between the two. And I will try to get to as many as I can. Soy la abogada Britton James, soy una abogada de inmigración. Estoy haciendo ese Facebook en vivo para contestar unas preguntas que estoy recibiendo. Recibí unos preguntas en inglés y unos en español, so voy a tratar de contestar más que puedo en los dos idiomas. Okay. The first question that I received is on Facebook, which is how do I go from permanent resident to become a United States citizen? So the basic rules to apply for naturalization are to have been a legal permanent resident for at least 5 years. In some cases, you can apply after 3 years of residency if you are married to a U.S. citizen or if you obtained your residency through abuse from a U.S. citizen spouse. You also have to show that you have good moral character. You have to demonstrate continuous residence in the U.S. for at least the last 5 years or 3 years if you're applying based on the 3-year rule, and show the physical presence in the United States for at least half of those last 5 years. And you also do have to take a test to show that you can read, write, and speak English, and that you have a basic understanding of U.S. history and government. This is something that obviously we do help people apply for citizenship. For our clients, I will review all of the eligibility requirements, make sure that you don't have any issues. For example, if you've ever registered to vote, that can be a major issue, not only for the citizenship application, but it can also cause problems with your residency. You also have to show that you don't owe any overdue taxes, and if you do, that you have a payment plan for that. There also can be an issue depending on certain things in your criminal history, so that's also important to review. So if you have any specific questions about your situation, then definitely schedule a consultation with an attorney to review your eligibility and make sure that you won't have any issues when you're applying. And the next question that I had received is in Spanish about what is going on with TPS for El Salvador. So recibí una pregunta de mensaje privado sobre qué está pasando ahorita con TPS del Salvador. Ahorita la situación con TPS es un poquito complicado. El gobierno trata de terminar el programa de TPS por El Salvador, Sudán, Nicaragua, Nepal, Haití y Honduras. Pero después esa decisión fue litigada en la corte y la terminación fue parado. Pero el mes pasado la corte hizo una decisión confirmando la terminación de TPS, básicamente diciendo que el gobierno sí tiene el derecho de terminar el programa de TPS, pero esta decisión está en proceso de apelación ahorita. Básicamente no hay una decisión final. No sabemos qué va a pasar con TPS. Por ahorita, Inmigración extendió los permisos de trabajo y el status de TPS por estos países por lo menos hasta enero. Pero estamos esperando ahorita por una nueva decisión sobre una extensión de eso. I will explain this question also in English. So it was a question regarding TPS from El Salvador. So basically the situation right now is a little bit complicated. The government tried to terminate the TPS program for the countries of El Salvador, Sudan, Nicaragua, Nepal, Haiti, and Honduras. But after that announcement, there was court litigation, and the court paused that termination of TPS for those countries. But just last month, the court said that no, that the government does have the right to terminate TPS. But now there's going to be an appeal of that decision. So basically, there is no final decision right now. We are still waiting to see what's going to happen. Y el próximo pregunta que recibió era ¿cuándo van a subir los tarifas de inmigración? Inmigración anunció que los tarifas por muchos de los formularios iban a subir el 2 de octubre, pero los cambios de las tarifas fueron parados por otra decisión de un corte. En este momento no sabemos cuándo van a subir. Estamos esperando por una decisión final en la corte y no sabemos cuánto tiempo eso va a tardar. So regarding changes to the immigration fees, immigration had announced that the immigration fees were going to be changing October 2nd, but there was a court decision right before the changes went into place, and the court said that they could not raise the fees at this time. So while that is being litigated, the fee changes are paused, and we don't know at this time when the fees are going to change. Once we have any news regarding that, I will make a Facebook post letting everyone know. But I would suggest that if you wanted to get your application in before the fees go up, definitely schedule a consultation with an attorney and look at your options and try to get things filed as soon as you can to avoid those higher fees. All right, and the next question that I got was, what is the current situation with DACA? As a lot of people may know, DACA has been litigated now for several years. The Supreme Court recently made a decision this summer saying that the termination of DACA was unlawful and that the DACA program needed to revert back to the status that it was prior to the termination, which would allow for new initial DACA applications as well as renewals and advanced parole so that those with DACA could apply to travel outside of the United States. Unfortunately, our government has refused to follow the orders of the Supreme Court. They recently issued a memorandum stating that there will be no initial applications accepted at this time and that renewals could only be done for 1 year at a time. Of course, I'm sure that this will all be subject to further litigation. And of course, there will hopefully be new things coming for people with DACA. But we'll have to see what the results of the election are and what Congress is able to do to help those with DACA. La pregunta era ¿cuál es la situación actual ahorita con DACA? Básicamente la situación de DACA era litigada en la corte por varios años ahorita. Era una decisión de la Corte Suprema reciente donde la Corte dijo que la terminación de DACA no era legal y que DACA tenía que regresar al punto de donde estaba antes de la terminación. Básicamente ellos dijeron que DACA tenía que, lo siento, que por este programa de DACA que personas pueden hacer nuevas aplicaciones y también renovaciones y para abrir la opción también de pedir permisos para viajar por personas que tenían DACA, pero el gobierno de nuestro país, afortunadamente, no quieren hacer lo que la Corte Suprema dijo. Ellos hicieron un orden diciendo que inmigración no puede aceptar nuevas aplicaciones y por las renovaciones, en vez de aprobar renovaciones por 2 años, ahorita solamente están haciendo renovaciones por 1 año cada año. Vamos a ver qué va a pasar con DACA después de esa elección y qué va a hacer el Congreso. Ojalá que ellos van a hacer algo bueno por personas que tienen DACA, porque ellos sí tienen que encontrar una solución. Ok. Ok, recibió 8 preguntas ahorita por Facebook. Un minuto. La pregunta es muy larga, voy a leer la pregunta en español. La pregunta dice que tenemos un caso abierto con su oficina. Mi esposo tenía su cita con el consulado en México en abril, pero fue cancelado por la situación de COVID. Y la pregunta es si yo he escuchado cuándo los consulados van a reabrir de nuevo. Y, y cómo va a funcionar para tener otra cita. Um, so, Básicamente, ahorita el consulado en Ciudad Juárez todavía está cerrado por citas normales. No sabemos cuándo van a reabrir. Están haciendo citas por casos de emergencias, pero aparte de eso no tienen citas. Y eso es como la mayoría de los consulados en todo el mundo están funcionando, pero hay unos que sí ahorita están abiertos y haciendo citas normales, pero la mayoría no. Y sabemos que el consulado en Ciudad Juárez no está abierto. Y no sabemos cómo van a funcionar. Me imagino que cuando están abiertos de nuevo, que las personas que tenían citas canceladas probablemente deben ser los primeros. Y después van a seguir como en la línea de personas que están esperando, pero la verdad es que no escuchamos nada 100%. Um, so repeating a little bit of this in English. So the question that I received was saying, we have an open case with your office. My husband had his appointment at the Mexican consulate in April, but it was canceled due to COVID. Have you heard when the consulates are going to reopen again? And would he be back in the waiting pool, if you will, and be called sooner, or be put back in the general line of people that have been waiting for a while? So basically at this time, the consulate in Ciudad Juarez in Mexico, it is still closed for regular appointments. They're only doing appointments for emergency cases, and I have not heard when they're going to open again. Most of the embassies around the world are still closed and only doing emergency appointments. There are a few that have already reopened, but I have not heard anything about a plan for reopening. It appears that it's just case by case basis, and they're not giving us very much notice. As far as being put back in line, I would hope that those who had appointments that were canceled would be called first, and then they would go in line from then of who has been waiting the longest time. But I haven't heard anything specific from them. So unfortunately, we will just have to wait and see. I wish I had a better answer for you, Kristen, but unfortunately, I don't right now. I will let you know if I hear anything. Okay. So I think that those are all of the questions for today. Like I said, I'm going to start doing these every week. And of course, you can always ask questions during the live, and I will try to get to your questions as quick as I can. But also, you can send us questions by private message if you prefer, or you can comment on our post with any questions, and I'll try to get to as many as I can. And again, I'll try to go back and forth in Spanish and English as much as I can, because I know that we have clients from both, and Facebook followers that speak both languages that would like as much information as they can get. So yo creo que esos son todas las preguntas para hoy. Pero si tienen más preguntas para que quiere que yo contesto por esos videos en vivo, puede mandarnos un mensaje o puede darnos un comentario y voy a tratar de contestar sus preguntas. Voy a tratar de hacer eso por lo menos una vez por semana, para contestar más preguntas que yo puedo. Gracias para vernos y voy a ver a ustedes la próxima semana. Okay. Thank you. Bye.